Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. Mike Catalana alongside Dan Fates here. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe as we close in on 20,000 subscribers. We really appreciate it. Mike, are you going to just stay in Detroit? You going to come back next week?
Might as well. Was here for the game Sunday, came back to Rochester, back here again. I love Ford Field. I think it's a great stadium. It's indoors, which is nice, though the weather's fine now. It's supposed to be rainy tomorrow. But it's going to be a little different than what we saw on Sunday with all those Bills fans and them being the home team.
Yeah, look, I know the Lions haven't been the greatest team over the last decade. That's not a hot take. But, Mike, they love this game. And compared to where it was a home game for the Bills last Sunday, it is going to be a very hostile crowd this tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to people who have said the fans have been into it here.
Yeah.
It's better. You know, they always make the jokes about the Lions. We heard somebody today saying, are they still considered a professional football team? They've won 3 games in a row, and they look like they have some hope.
Yeah.
And I know when the season started, they played the Eagles on that opening day. People told me it was one of the loudest stadiums they've ever been in. And that's not normally what this place is known for, but it is a dome, more like a field house kind of setup that it is.
Yeah.
And they've won their 3 straight. And Dan Campbell, being Dan Campbell, he's got that team believing. They beat the Giants last week. So I would trust the Bills are ready for a road environment, even though they did just play here and had that support. I think even at 12:30, I think these fans are going to be fired up, and I think it's going to be something they have to deal with.
And it's something of, you wonder where this team is emotionally after the long week they had, the travel, coming back, coming forth. I know Jenna talked about it a little bit, and you did yesterday, about lower energy at practice. And that's not to say it's not understandable, and it's not to say they may not be conserving some energy, but I just think it is going to be, this isn't a same old, maybe before the season we looked at this game and said, they're going to beat the Lions.
These players are creatures of habit. They like structure. When it goes off just a little bit, it's something they have to adjust to. And they had to adjust a ton last week, and give them credit. I know it wasn't the prettiest game in the world, but with everything they went through, yes, they got here, they played well enough, they won the game. That's what they needed to do. But then they got to ramp it back up again. They go home, dig out a little bit more, get in a practice. Now you come right back to play a road game. And, of course, the Lions also played on Sunday, so both teams have limited times. Lions do this every year. Bills, it seems like they do. But you got to come back and play. And you wonder, is a little conserving of energy and coming out, something's going to get them fired up. We just mentioned the atmosphere. To be quite honest with you, I think that'll get the Bills players fired up too. They're playing on the road. That team's going to be into it. The crowd's going to be into it. I think that's a plus for the Bills to get that energy going.
And another plus, I think maybe encouraging sign, Josh Allen, at least at practice yesterday, at least when media could see, did not have any sleeve brace on his throwing elbow because, Mike, something's been missing from Josh's game since the elbow injury, and I don't think it has anything to do with his throwing.
No, I think he's not running the ball, and I think he's protecting the elbow. You saw how he reacted with the cheap shot. I thought it really was a cheap shot.
Yeah.
He runs to the sidelines, and the guy for the Browns goes after his elbow. But he's conscious of it. I mean, Josh, a big, tough guy. A guy's hitting you on the elbow is normally not anything, but he knows it. And you know, if he's not running, it does take something away from his game, takes something away from the whole offense. It just crushes a defense. They go back. This is not a great Detroit defense. They've had some moments, but they've given up a ton the way they started the year. Josh's runs are backbreakers against the defense. If he's had to remove that from his game to protect himself and stay on the field, I totally get it. But it does impact what they do. And I think to some extent it impacts the passing game.
Yeah, it impacts passing game. Another thing that could limit this Bills offense, especially the running game we talked about with Josh, also the passing game, is the fact that Mitch Morse is listed as of right now as questionable for the game. He is such a massive part of this offensive line. You've heard since training camp, Josh, the showering Mitch in compliments about what he means for protections. He's taken a lot off of Josh's plate when it comes to that. If he can't go, what are your concerns, Mike, for a scrappy Lions defense?
Yeah, they have Aiden Hutchinson. He's a great defensive lineman, a rookie. He's played really well. He can drop into coverage and make plays too. You mentioned it with Mitch. You know, you can lose a guy. When you lose the center, the key to your line, it impacts all 5 guys. And I know you could say that about any player. It's different with the center. And Mitch has been tough and steady. Not saying he's not playing. It's a strange week You wouldn't normally not practice and then play, but it's only a couple of days. It's only one real practice, and you just played on Sunday. That makes it very different. He was in a walking boot after the game. I think whether it's Van Roten playing or they make another move, maybe Ryan Bates playing some time at center, I don't know what they do. It's not a plus, I can tell you that, if he's not out there. I think he gives it a shot. We will see. But they got another game against the Patriots 1 week from tomorrow. So you want your best offensive lineman, and I think he's been that on the field. And I think that's going to be something we have to watch for.
Again, best offensive lineman. And I've talked to other NFL linemen before, and they always talk about you want continuity. Like they always talk about, you hear at training camp, well, we want to get these guys reps together. Somebody compared it to an orchestra, that an offensive line, unlike a defensive line, it can just be one guy going and doing his own thing. An offensive line has to work in syncrasy, and they all have to be together. Taking that piece of Mitch Morse out, they didn't win in Miami when he missed that game, so it's a huge, huge point. As for the Lions offense, couple of pieces that are nice, that, again, like you talked about, has this fan base and this city encouraged by some players.
Yeah, Amon St. Brown, that kid catches everything. If you watched Hard Knocks, he's a big part of it. His dad was the bodybuilder.
Yeah.
If you watched any of it, he's just great route runner. I'll tell you what, I'd take him on the Bills right now. I think that kid can play. Jamal Williams has been piling up the touchdowns. DeAndre Swift can make plays. He's got a little more dynamic to him. And look, Jared Goff is the quarterback, and we can pick on Jared Goff all you want. He did take the Rams to the Super Bowl. He did.
First overall pick.
And he's played better at times. He's been at least okay for them. I mean, I'm not saying he's Jimmy Garoppolo, but he kind of is that guy who can move the offense. He doesn't have all the weapons and all. They've scored some points. There's been moments when they can really score. The problem was their defense was giving up so much. Offense has toned down a little bit. Defense has gotten a little bit better, but they do have some guys that can make plays on offense.
Defensively, like I said, I do want to make one more point about the Bills' offense. Going back, I know we're zigzagging here, but you talk about Amon-Ra St. Brown and how you would take him on the Bills. The Bills need somebody to step up, again, whose name isn't Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, I mean, Gabe Davis has struggled, inconsistent, made a couple of nice catches last week, but we all saw that he had a drop. Yeah, they got nothing really out of the rest of the group. I mean, they really did. You got nothing out of the slot receivers. McKenzie, you got nothing out of Shakir. I think 45 snaps in the slot. One attempt went their way, no catches. That's a problem. Nyheim Hines in the slot. Do it, Ken Dorsey. Put him there. He's a mismatch. I love him out there. You want to keep your backs as your backs, use him as the slot receiver. I'd like to see more out of it. Let's see what they get out of it. But as we say all the time, Gabe Davis is a key. He's an absolute key. When he's good, this offense can explode. When he's not good, too much attention on Diggs, not enough outlets, and they need more out of the second and third and fourth wide receivers.
Two Bills players, again, that won't be playing on defense, Tremaine Edmonds, obviously the short week, as well as Trey White. I know we keep talking about this, but, Mike, where are we? And I know we don't really have any clear answers, but he just seems like this would be a game that you kind of need him.
No, I don't think he was going to play this game because it was 2 and 5 days. Everybody talks about the turf, all those things. I've been told they're targeting December 1st against the Patriots. That's a week from tomorrow. If it doesn't happen then, I don't know when it's happening or if it's happening. I think that's the target date. We will see. They're going to miss Tremaine Edmonds. Matt Milano, player of the week on defense, was spectacular here on Sunday. They're going to need another big game out of him.
Look, this Lions team is scrappy. People are excited about it around the city. We will wait and see again. This is a big game, I think, not only for Buffalo to get 2 wins in 5 days, but also the sense of the Lions are going for 4 wins in a row, and this is their one time on national TV to showcase.
Yeah, and look, they're still in a playoff chase. I know you might think it's far off, but if they win, they're 5 and 6. They beat Green Bay recently. They beat the Giants. They should have beaten Minnesota. They've been highly competitive. They almost knocked the Eagles off in the opening day. They've been good. New England was the one team that really shut them down. But I'm telling you, this game should make you a little bit anxious. Let's see if the offense can get going. Let's see if the defense can get off the field, and we'll see what kind of game it is.
Plenty more coverage all Turkey Day as well as afterwards. We'll have an instant reaction podcast that you can listen to while you're enjoying your leftovers. From Mike Catalana, I'm Dan Fates. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you next time here on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel.